You don't want to like screw your draft over because
Just
of like taking their pick. It's never good.
And an Ursa.
Back with Ursa.
It's Ursa offlane?
No, the Hawk Ursa, and we're gonna actually see.
But I think he wants to
Ninja
go
Medusa
against snakes on Ursa. Otherwise,
yeah, he should.
I don't think it's a good lane for him against Prophet.
No.
All right, I'm going to let the new guy pick last. So, Sheev, this is a pivotal game 3. We know that this is an important game to secure because most teams that win game 3 will win the match. Who you
Really?
got? Yes.
Is that a stat? Well, in that case, I don't know. I was gonna go for NIP anyway.
Okay.
I think
NIP.
they're done playing games.
They're done.
Yeah.
They had their wake-up call in game 1.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Gambit because NIP does not have support that can stop an Ursa from running at them.
Wow.
Because they have a Cuddle and a Valentine. I don't think it'll be quite strong enough. I think Gambit will run away with it.
I would say Gambit too.
Yes.
If they get a correct lanes, if they put Ursa against snakes.
All right. Well, let's see what loot.bet says. NIP, you put $1 on them, you're at $1.47 coming back, and $1 on Gambit pays $2.44. So they think that NIP is a clear favorite, but that's why you play the games. Come on, guys. What do you think?
Well, let's see. Ready to go. Game 3, ladies and gentlemen, of NIP versus Gambit. Further on the panels, both liking both of the drafts, really. Both sort of resident players liking what Gambit's got going on here. If they feel if they can get that Ursa in a good position, it could be a pretty sweet game for the Ursa as long as he doesn't have that bad lane matchup.
Yep,
Would you agree?
I would agree. Yeah, I mean, you pick the Ursa 10th just so that you can match it up against the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
So you got to get that started ASAP. I agree with Rezo. And much like the first 2 games, I do feel like whoever comes out ahead in this early phase will probably have that critical advantage that they can take the game off of.
Well, let's have a lot of tips there going the way of Fada's Razor, one of his best and one of those heroes that we have seen Fada take over a lot of games with. You know, this ain't no Monkey King, so we'll see if he does manage to have a great time this game around. Deuce, of course, getting through the draft pool for Gambit, a hero that we've seen being taken away a lot of the times today. It's here, it's in the draft. Is it going to be good?
I think so. I don't think NIP did really too much to deal with him. Mana Shield reduces damage before reductions anyway, so the fact that ET is removing all of your armor, magic armor, isn't as relevant because
the Mana Shield's still going to block a
it blocks
hefty
60%. So it's like a third of the damage that you deal is helped by the ET. So, of course, if you burn his mana quickly, then it's a different story, but it's definitely a good game for Dusa.
Yeah, there's, I mean, as you say, you know, normally burning his mana is the way to go, but there's no diffusal blade builders on the lineup of NIP, so that's it's not going to happen.
I fear for the Doom, though. I don't really see who he... It's nice you can chase Prophet all game, but Razor Lifestealer just kind of giggle at you. But it is... Like, Doom crushes the ET and the Furion. That's his task, is just to run at them. The Doom itself isn't the biggest factor, but if he gets ahead, he makes it incredibly difficult to play these heroes. Well, we'll see. We'll see. There isn't too much tower pressure or magic damage on the side of Gambit. I think NIP has a way easier time accelerating. So if they win the laning phase, I think that they could just run away with it. Gambit, you're kind of just trying to ensure you don't get out-pressured because ET, Furion, like these are 2 of the strongest laners in Dota.
And we'll see how, you know, this as we sort of heard talk about in the panel, how well it can perform. Because it has been a hero that we've seen numerous times, Gambit trying to fit into their draft, going for the pickup on it. We'll see if just having that strong matchup against the Lifestealer is going to be enough to allow this Ursa to pop off. Because obviously there's these other cores that can have something to say about him. So Fada with the static link, and also those potential sprout plays with the Prophet that can cause issues for the Ursa having free reign around the fight.
Yeah, for sure, but I don't believe... Ursa's pretty good against Razor throughout the game, because even if you do get
we just do the damage too quick.
Exactly, and you open up on him, and the Fury swipes aren't affected. So if you get the link off beforehand, sure. I think it'll be definitely like that Tranquil's Yules build we've seen from Fada a lot, because it's all about reducing the damage output of Gambit and getting off these big links. Top lane. This is a tough one. Fada's actually in a little bit of trouble. ALWAYWANNAFLY might man up on him here.
I was thinking about it, but at this point the static link has created too much of a difference. Still a good bit of harassment there from Ninja. If he can find these angles and bounces with the snakes, it's a fair bit of nuke damage to force Fada to play that little safer in this mid matchup.
The advantage, I think, for NIP is that Ace will have a very good time bottom lane 1 versus 1ing a Doom. not a favorable matchup for Afterlife down there.
That's Fada. Let's get forced back. And once again, he's down to, well, he's got 3 tangos left. No salves on him at the moment. Does still have to continue to be a little careful how he pokes near the lane.
Yeah, he is winning it, though. So, yeah, he has to buy extra regen, but a health pot's about 2.5 CS. So, if you trade, even if you trade your entire HP pool for 1 wave of creeps, it's always worth it.
Yeah, if you're ahead as he is, absolutely. 12 for 6 against the 7 for 2 at the moment in that middle lane.
I think it was really Sumail who popularized this whole strategy of just, you know, win the lane, trade health for CS and denies, and just buy regen over and over, mangoes and salves, instead of like the whole bottle rush we used to see in the past. That's dead. Mid players, you just buy regen now, and raw stats, of course. Wraith Band, ZREC, Alpha Ninja picking up his. That's the downside of buying regen, is that you end up losing in the stat game, and then it becomes harder and harder to CS. Razor, of course, Hero's all about the link, so it's not quite the same as other heroes. Oh, he misses the CS. Well, a lot of mana used for that value archer that he missed. Alas.
And so do you think, you know, Gambit are happy with the side lanes being as they are? You know, with the sort of talked about in the panel, wanting to get the Ursa against the Lifestealer. Is it just something that you can't really force? Or would you have liked to see them try and move their lanes around a bit?
I would have liked to see them move their lanes, because I feel like Doom in this top lane, even if you have to tri-lane him, is going to go very well for you. And I would rather have Ursa 1v1 against Lifestealer, just because then you at least threaten kill potential with the rotation as well. Oh,
we will see PPD get taken down as the body blocks are there. Gambit able to set up for Tekcac to find that first blood on PPD. Yep. And sort of the bit of the time where the Prophet had left the lane, 33 did TP back to base, and then, of course, has managed to come back with that global teleport spell.
Yeah, your concern is that you have that same NIP scenario where they're dual laning bottom, and eventually they'll rotate that support out, leaving Lifestealer 1v1. And I don't think this Gambit tri-lane can really do much if Kyle just starts blasting them. Like, it's just too strong. And the one downside, though, of this NIP draft, where are the stuns? Where's the catch? They don't really have any. And they need, their draft is predicated upon being ahead. If they do not stay ahead, it becomes impossible for them to actually make moves around the map, because they're trying to abuse numbers. You know, my hero is stronger than your hero, so you have to respond with a friend, and then we can get other things done around the map, or force you to bottom and then TP Prophet top. Like, just abusing the movement is the name of the game. Whereas Gambit, you're trying to rest easy on your. You don't really have a catch advantage either, to be honest. Blink Ursa is nice, because then you can hunt with the Nyx, but until then, you don't really have much to get things done either.
See PPD trying to do his best to trade hits with them here. Merchant was looking for the setup stun.
He's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, he's very tanky on this out of time. We saw, you know, even earlier when he did go down for the first, but it took quite a bit of time for them to work him down, even with the Fury swipe stacking up on the ET.
Yeah, you're feeling good if you're on IP, I'm pretty sure. I always feel good when you have Lifestealer. I feel like you're happy, especially in a matchup like this. There's really nothing that beats you. Yeah, Ursa does, but you're going to be so far behind in levels. That's the key. Ursa really needs XP. And when you're, I hate watching Ursa get tri-laned. If it's an advantageous dual lane, it's a different story, but...
Sure, like maybe if this tri-lane was against a Lifestealer and you were able to kill him, make sure that there's this crucial core not getting any farm, but that's not the case. 33, he's CSing fine. He's keeping on par with the Ursa's farm against this tri-lane, where, you know, as you keep mentioning, you know, NIP, they're only having to commit a duo lane to trade that farm. That's going to see another attempt on 33. This time, they should actually get away with him. He goes for the Sprout play. Trees are going to be cut down, and they will manage to kill him off. So good move there from Gambit, noticing that it is the timing where PPD is going to have backed up, go for a pull. They punish 33 because of that.
That was a death I was guilty of many times in my career. My support is pulling, and I try and stick around for that extra creep, but instead I get ran up by 3 heroes. My friend isn't there, and I die. PPD, unfortunately. Probably a bit salty about that one, because he is doing his job. He's been distracting 3 heroes for quite some time, and he's established in the lane control, but 3-3, of course, getting caught out. It's still, though, look at mid, actually. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah, Razor.
Wow, I did not realize it was that bad, but that...
I mean, this is what happens when Fada gets his Razor.
Yeah.
He crushes certain matchups. And the Dusa matchup, not seeming to be any sort of problem for him to deal with. 34-21 denies at just 6.5 minutes in this mid lane.
If there's anything NIP can take from this tournament, whether they win or lose this final, it's that they really look like a different team based on what hero Fada's playing. Like, what role is he in the game? Because he is one of the best in the world at these tanky heroes that just use their bodies. You know, he's a sumo wrestler. He's not a finesse fighter. No. And I think if you keep him on this type of this style, this hero concept and archetype that he's been good at for half a decade at this point.
Yeah, well, the Razors, the Vipers. I mean, what else would you sort of put up there as a, well, actually, Ace bottom lane, that Doom's going to kill him off.
Yep.
So the 6 comes online. They are able to find the opportunity to bring down the Lifestealer.
And if he had pre-8 at Tango, he would have lived for sure. Unfortunately, he dies with 1 extra tick of Doom remaining. But yeah, I think the Alchemist we saw was quite nice. That was something when he was playing with Liquid. That's actually how they knocked us out of the Manila Major, the Fada Alchemist. It was a game we probably should have won, but he defended a tower a couple times and just outscaled. He's really good at that. A
little bit of an attempt of aggressive play from PPD. Does have Fada by his side, but Fada's going to bail out in this one. It's too deep by the Shrine. Immersion and FNG are there to back up. He's going to try for the deny to the Ancients. Won't quite get the timing. Zaffa Ninja is able to pick up a kill.
Heavy commitment, though. 3.5 heroes just huddled around PPD. And you're doing all right if you're Gambit, but maybe a little concerned. I think NIP, you look to take some towers now. The Doom was used, so a Prophet TP to bottom with a creep wave, especially if we hit that catapult timing at 10 minutes, is guaranteed going to kill that tower. There's really no one on Gambit that's powerful enough to defend against 2 or 3 heroes that start diving. And yeah, to your point, I think I'd have to like look over the list, but you know, that's a pretty good start for Fada. I think his TA is pretty decent too, but that hero's not met anymore.
PPD, again, he was just over it, just died. He decided to come back over, and surprise, Immersion and FNG and Alpha Ninja were still hanging around, so they'll gladly kill him a second time for showing his face in the same part of town.
I'd like to see him go bottom. Like, just go play with one of your stronger heroes, the Lifestealer ideally, and then just bring the Prophet, find some tower kills. You could start diving middle as well. But Fada, he's been farming some jungle stacks. Do believe he maxed out his aura, so that's a lot more, a lot easier for him to do. It's, I think, certainly the proper build. And I've had to mention, but the Nyx of Immersion, like, this is the coddle counter. And if he plays this game right, he can just theoretically solo kill him if he ever catches him farming. You just Carapace on top of the blast. It makes his life a living hell. There's 3 heroes he can actually stun automatically that can't prevent the damage. If a blast is channeled, he can run into the ET Spirit as well to find a stun with the Carapace.
I guess it's also pretty nice for setting up on the Razor, right?
Exactly.
Every team fight, you're going to get both stuns easily out onto Fada.
And the thing that sucks about the new Razor Aura, I mean, not to say it sucks by any means, but if you open on, you can watch him farm, right? And then open on him as the next tick is going to land, and you just get the full stun combo off, and your team can then follow up.
We'll try for a little bit of aggressive play towards mid. They get the stomp on the Jakiro, but won't go any further near that. Well, I say that. Ace is actually looking to dive. He does have the open wounds, and with that, they'll get the kill. Fada diving in deep as well. Doesn't look like there's any way that Gambit can punish this tier 2 dive, apart from look towards the map. Whilst this dive is taking place, Gambit will take 3 of the 4 bounty roots.
Yep. But this is what NIP needed to do. As you can see, they just collapse on this mid tower. They only get the support, which is unfortunate. I like that Afterlife actually picks up an Ice Ogre here. You just want to slow down the tempo of NIP, because if you can keep specifically your mid tower alive, it makes this Dusa so much easier to play. And 3 wards placed to try and control the center area of the map. So if you maintain that structure, you're going to feel good if you're Gambit. They do have the Radiant side for the first time, I believe, in a game against NIP. This is the first time I've seen a team play Radiant against NIP, actually. And I believe they chose first pick, right? NIP did. So they still value it. They just put Radiant all the way at the top, because whenever they have choice, that is what they will select.
Dive in on the bottom lane, looking to hunt down Immersion. Immersion in a lot of trouble as PPD is there with the wraparound setup of the Stomp. He'll continue to try and run. Old AlWAYWANNAFLY is there, but nothing he can do to stop the Nyx Assassin from going down. As NIP claim the kill and can look to continue to press this tier 1 tower down bottom. In fact, old AlWAYWANNAFLY he ends up showing himself. He walks into the lane, does have the Scorched Earth, and with that Frost Armor, he's pretty tanky. I don't think there's going to be any way he gets out of this, but he can try and make them work for it. As he'll give them a little bit of a run, gets himself in the trees. It's going to take quite a bit of time for them to kill him. Sprout's down as well. He's speedy as well with the face boots. In fact, he may just make it out. They've got no further stun, so a good bit of time wasted there by the Doom as he'll walk out and escape whilst there were 4 members of NIP down there sort of hunting for him.
So much space made, and this is really a great job by Gambit. They've bought so much time, and more importantly, they've kept their structures alive. You can see Doom is rushing a Midas. Ursa's just finished his. They are 100% in to outscale NIP.
Because this is just, it's already looking a million times better than game 2.
Yeah.
Like, to be at 12 minutes in, it's pretty much dead even.
Yeah, even. That's like, I'm just psyched we have an even game. I don't really care.
Pretty much the timings as well, because now there's, well, the 2 Midas on NIP, and as you said, the second Midas should be there pretty soon for the Doom on Gambit. So we're seeing both teams, they're going to be moving forward at a similar pace, and then it's just sort of a question of who's going to hit this timing where they're able to get ahead of the opponent.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be cool. It's just crazy. How I actually haven't seen the Prophet Midas yet. Usually you see them going for a bit more build-up first, but I don't mind it in this game. And truthfully, I'm not quite sure who will have the late-game advantage. I would favor Gambit, but you really never know.
With the Deucer against the Lifestealer and Razor, you gotta, I feel like you have to, right? This Deucer is going to be this late-game beast.
Yeah, but there's a coddly T, you know? Like, I've seen so many huge ults that just break the game, and not to mention Elder Titan. You even just watching like the Spirit, because the Spirit's what has the magic amp, so just like, oh, he's gonna get doomed. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, they do, and they've got the Jakiro here as well, so they should have more than enough damage to kill Ace. TPs will be coming in, but the Macropire is down. The Stompers want to make sure there's no chance of a deny to come into play, as the Doom will allow them to kill off Ace. Now the turnaround, they tried to move in NIP, but Immersion, he turns with the stun onto 2. PPD is ticking down low to the urn. Old Aqua JB4 with the hunt for him in the tree, slams him down with the Infernal Blade, and they'll get the 2 kills.
It's huge. And there's no wards down here for Ace, so he is very alone. I'm concerned whether he... This is part of the reason I think you want to take this tower, because if you're going to keep Lifestealer in the offlane, it's a lot easier for him to play if he's... You know, if that structure is gone, if there's no TP follow-up, that's a threat. And in addition, if he were to die, you know, in between Tier 1, Tier 2, it buys a lot more time and space for his allies. Right now, Gambit looks like they're moving into a dominating position in this game. And the problem with the NIP draft, your tower pressure, your big strength with this Prophet is the early game phase. And to be fair, he did go Midas, but I question whether or not NIP has the right read on this game. Do they think they can take it that late? And there's the Nyx versus Coddle.
It's the old 1-2 there from Immersion to set up on Saxa. He does have the blinding light, but the Hack doesn't want to dive for this one. So Saxa will live.
He should not have ulted until the blinding light came out. You can remove that blind from yourself, but you pop it preemptively. That's just child's play for Saxa.
Talking about this Prophet with his Midas 33. He's trying his best to run away, but the control is perfect with that Ice Path. They do manage to get the Will-O-Wisp out, and that will actually allow the space for 33 to continue to back up and for NIP to now turn things around. The Rage up from Ace, static link onto Old Aqua J before the Doom's down. The newly picked up Yules on Fada there to cancel the TP of FNG, will allow NIP to strike back on the bottom lane and secure that double kill for Fada.
About time. That's what NIP has been waiting for some, like, this entire game. That's the strength of their lineup. Fada's moving around at like 450 move speed already. You've got Lifestealer with the phase. Like, they just want to connect, abuse their mobility. PPD's dead.
Yeah, he dropped the sentry down, but it was a bit of a nasty surprise because Immersion was there waiting for him to have the control to allow Tekcac to get those swipes in. Tekcac now sailing ahead in money. He's got the Midas and he's got 2,700 gold. Instant pickup at the Blink Dagger. This Ursa's ready to start making the plays. Top net worth in the game at 15 minutes.
Now, I really don't know who has the advantage as this continues. I'd say... I think it's relatively even. Both sides have huge ults they need to look to play around in the pit.
I mean, I really just feel like you have to look at the fact that, you know, Ace is playing Lifestealer against an Ursa and a Deucer. Two heroes that are very good against a Lifestealer as the game goes on.
It's true, but we'll see. Nip has a hard time committing to engagements, especially if Stone Gaze gets popped. I think Gambit also, just because they're support duo, like they have easier and cheaper stuns. So if it's more of a skirmish that breaks out, like Gambit can find pickoff so easily because you land with like a Carapace stun into a real stun into an Ice Path. That's like 6 seconds of single target disable immediately. Nip doesn't have that capability. Their peel is the Spirit Stomp and it's the Coddle ult. So if you can bait out the Doom, the Stone Gaze, or even just like a bad initiation and then Coddle ult on top and look to turn around, that's fine. But I feel like Gambit has just an easier time actually finding kills, finding opportunities like they're going to go look for now. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's going to open on the Razor. Ooh, Fada, Spidey senses. But if he opens on the Razor, the aura immediately hits him, or the E rather, and you stun again. Ursa blinks in. It's why he's rushing the blink after Midas, because you just find kills on anybody if you open with Nyx properly.
Immersion. He's got his eyes on 33. He's actually going to reveal himself because Dahak's going to look to jump forward and make a go onto the Prophet. 33 trying to get himself out so he could go for a Sprout play, but it's not going to work. He's already dead. TPs will start to come in, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, the TP
exactly
was there for the cold, but they had the numbers. They can't react to this at the moment, NIP.
And Nyx Ursa, there's no duo on NIP that achieves this much threat. Like, they're just going to walk around the map together, and the rest of Gambit's heroes are kind of free to do whatever they like.
Look how much space there is for this. Well, there's this Deuce to push, and not just the Deuce from the Jakira. They have a lot of pushing power, Gambit.
And they smoked onto the Spirit, unfortunately. A bit of a risky smoke. That's what I call a solo smoke. The captain of VP, where obviously one of the best teams in the world, super talented, but he has a tendency to just smoke and just, you know, you take an objective and you're just like, all right, let's go. But there really isn't anywhere for them to go right now. You can see Ursa just TP's top. He's going to farm this lane. Doom's going to back him up, but nothing really getting done. It does put NIP in a position where they're going to have to hold hands as 5 for a few minutes.
Well, sure, I guess that's the effect, right? Because you're going to split up, but as NIP, you know that they've smoked. Like, you probably want NIP to have seen that you did smoke there.
I don't know about that.
You don't think for sort of the mind games, they're like, what, where are they going to go? I mean, it's forced NIP themselves to do a smoke in response. Yeah. And I guess unlikely to actually get anything with their own smoke in return.
I really like the itemization on the Deuce. He's going for a Pike early, which we don't see anymore. It used to be a staple of the Deuce builds, and but there's just so much for him to kite. You want to get away from the Link, the Coddle ult, the Spirit. You know, you can Pike the Life Stealer. A lot of options here. Vanguard into Crimson on 3-3. Such a weird style, but I don't mind it. I just think I might prefer rushing more auras that provide the defensive capabilities along with damage.
A lot of pings coming out here. They know what's going on in NIP. It's Gambit. They've got Roshan down to half health. Dahak already, of course, with a fair few swipes stacked up on it. Fada's outside of the pit. Fada, he has got that Invis rune as well. Could look to sort of sneak in there and take it, as they don't have detection. He knows. They don't react to him.
They don't now because he's stomped. There has to be 3 heroes in the pit.
Oh. Now Gambit, they're losing Immersion as Ace chases him down. Looks like Immersion will be able to walk it off. And in fact, Fada gets caught out by the Ice Path. Straight away, they jump in from the high ground. Gambit take Fada out of the game. Wow. As now they can move back into Roche. Continue to try and finish it off. NIP, is there any way they can really contest this without their Razor? It doesn't look to be. Is that PPD? Again, caught out by Immersion with the stun. More than enough space here for them to finish Roche. Afro Ninja popping the stone gates to make sure there's no chance of a steal. And Gambit, they get the Roche, they get the Aegis on Dahak.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. Nip, sure, you have strong team fight, but Gambit are always going to be able to find opportunities to get kills. Like, if you overstep, they have way too much single target damage and stun lock for the heroes of NIP to save you, unless you want to fully commit. And it's just so hard in these choke points to do so, because if you drop Coddle ult or just run in as Lifestealer, Deuce ult's going to get popped. And and if you cancel that out, I think Gambit's CC potential is just too high for NIP to deal with, at least until they have more core items online. But yeah, I mean, I think we just finished the Radiance on Lifestealer.
Okay, so we'll maybe see if that sort of changes the pace of the fight. But you look at this Deucer. I mean, Alpha Ninja, he's top net worth, and this is an in-game where there's 4 other cores with Midases. You know, he has farmed up an absolute treat in that top area of the map on the Radiant side, and he's in a very scary position. He's level 16. He's ready to rock and roll. The highest level on NIP is level 14 on the Razor. This Deucer is accelerated beautifully.
I just don't know. I don't know if I like the way people have been playing Prophet, like this core Prophet. I would love to have a discussion with Bulldog. I know he was flaming Alliance Koifa's build a bit, but if you're going to go Midas, feels like you're playing for the late game. But this hero just consistently falls off in the late game. And then you go for a Crimson Guard instead of, say, like Vlad's BKB AC. Like, your draft has damage issues, and the Crimson Guard will be nice, but I don't think that changes the status quo at all. And oh my God, Dahak.
33. He's not getting out of this one. They found him. And 33 will fall, just as you talk as the downfalls of the Prophet. Another death on him himself. There's more money there for Dahak. The cores continue to revel on Gambit's side in the money that's rolling in. Dahak on top of the Basher, already well and truly set to start investing in that BKB, which is going to make him pretty much borderline invincible against NIP's lineup.
Yeah, I don't know what Prophet does in this game. And Fada doing what he can, as is Ace's Lifestealer, but it's that conundrum where you're in a position where your draft simply can't make moves.
Yeah.
There's no team comp. I always call it like 1+1 theory, where you like having these heroes like Earth Spirit or Tusk that can link up with any core on your team and find kills. You don't have that capability as NIP, and you're at a vision disadvantage. I think maybe even looking at that game 1, perhaps that, or game 2 rather, like maybe the Night Stalker was more important than we realize. Or wait, was that not even this? That was the series, right?
I don't know. We've seen Night Stalker this series, have we?
Was it game
that might
3
be
against NaVi? All right, whatever. Point is vision control, okay? You've got a way of controlling the map. And it just seems easy for Gambit. I don't know how you threaten them.
No, I mean,
you
Gambit,
need a big team fight on NIP.
They're so ready to fight now as well. I mean, with the Blink Dagger picked up on the Doom, you have so much initiation and ways to react to any sort of time that NIP try and make a fight happen themselves. I mean, at the moment, they're trying to make sure that Ace and Fada can keep up with the pace of farm, but they're slipping behind. 2K, 3K gold behind the Ursa and the Medusa at this point. Early on as well, 22 minutes in, where, as I say, you've just got to sort of favor the action that Gambit's got going again. Gambit will be able to catch out Saxa Immersion with the next assassin play, but no follow-up quite in time. Just a bit of a spook to send the old man on his horse packing. And another Blink Dagger also very close. Soon, Gambit, they're going to have all of these blinks. So much jump and setup and ways to react to what NIP is having, you know, in these team fights. And sure, they do have that team fight with the Will-O-Wisp. And it's getting to the point where it feels like NIP, they can only sort of fight with that Will-O-Wisp. But they don't have the Coddle out, their control. It's just not going to cut it.
It feels like the Gambit here side is just unkillable. They once again have these 4 super tanky, there's 1 through 4 positions. Your Jakir's got 1,500 HP. And sure, at NIP, you're in a position where you have to itemize for the same defensive auras that every team needs, but you're compromising your damage output. Inside of Gambit, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You know you're not threatened, and they're all so tanky, man. Yeah, the blink on immersion is going to be a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
He just blinks in on Razor, he's going to get stunned, unless he has BKB active.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much whoever immersion plus the hat goes on, or Alpha Ninja plus the hat goes on, they're going to be a guaranteed kill at the start of every fight, especially with the BKB on the Ursa.
Yeah. Weird, they just actually TP'd 3 heroes back to base. They're trying to hunt the Lifestealer. It's a cool smoke. If this pays off, it'll be a big kill, and I think it might. Yeah, oh, no, he queued out of smoke. Ace might know now. Or not.
Oh, no. He has been spotted. They are going to start as he will turn, look towards FNG. FNG does fall to the Nature's Wrath, but a trade that they'll more than happily take Gambit as they get that kill. Dahak bringing down the Lifestealer. Ace there, the top position at the moment in NIP's lineup.
Yep, typical move. You've got map control. You make this cool play, unexpected rotation on Ace, and now you clean up the towers of the dead lane because Roche is no longer an objective.
And this Deuce just continued. She's level 20 at 24 minutes in.
With a butterfly, yeah. It's just
look at this Deuce.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of, like, butterfly is an item that drastically increases your survivability in a game like this.
It's massive.
Now you farm better. Like, it's offense and defense. And NIP, you just don't have the tools for this. You won't have MKBs for another full item in everyone's progression. I think, yeah, Razor still needs his BKB. Lifestealer's going to need probably, maybe finish his Sanjin. I don't know what he's buying.
Look at this down bottom, and NIP are starting to come into the jungle, but they're on the high ground. They see all of this Gambit, so they'll just immediately jump in on top of the Keeper of the Light. Sure, he gets the ult down. It may save PPD, and it looks like it will with the stomp out. But again, it's just so hard for them to do anything with Gambit just reading every single movement and Gambit having the item advantage that they have at the moment.
It's easier for them. Again, to find kills, all they have to do is listen to immersion. When he identifies a hero, somebody run over there and kill it. And no matter if it's Doom or Ursa, that hero will die. And if you're NIP, it's all about these team fights. But now Coddle ult's down. Like, what can you do? It's 3-on-5, but look at this. Like,
they're going to try and commit. With the BKB and the Rage, they're going in, but the Stone Gaze is there and already. Dahak's on top of Fada, getting the bashes out. Now they have to back off with the BKB and the Rage wearing off, but ODPixel before jumps in on top of Ace. Ace, he's been sprouted by his own teammates. Ace cannot escape. The stun comes out from immersion onto Fada. Both cores dead. PPD getting collapsed upon behind the tower. Saxa will blinding light back, both Dahak and immersion, but it's not going to stop them chasing down the captain as PPD falls. 33 cannot TP out of this. 4 dead on NIP. Yep. This game starting to look like a big old train wreck from Ninjas in Pyjamas. I don't know if there's any slowing down this train that Gambit's got going.
Yep. It's easy. They were 3-on-5, but you can see Nip, their initiation is for Ace to run up and open wounds. The link goes off, but it's immediately force-staffed by Afo Ninja, so I mean, that's it. And Immersion, again, like, it's so...
As it seems like every single one dead on Ninjas in Pyjamas. I mean, you just only have... You have to look at the Deucer, and I think you sort of... Your fingers start to drift towards the G key on the keyboard. I mean, he's so big. This is a Deucer, as I say, he's not running a Midas. Everyone else is, but Afo Ninja doesn't care. He doesn't need no Midas. You know, this guy could do it all on his own on the Deucer. He's 6K ahead of anyone else in the game. They're taking your racks 26 minutes in. This game looking to be pretty impossible for NIP to play.
Yeah, it's just this patch. You sit on a lead, and it just feels like you're slowly watching a noose get tightened around the neck of NIP, because what could they do differently? You know, you're playing against a Nyx that's got a vision advantage. He's been a part of over 70% of the kills in this game. I don't actually know what you change. If you're NIP, I felt like the moment it's 10, 12 minutes and you don't have a tier 1, like, you kind of just lost, because your profit's now going to fall off massively. And I again question the itemization. If you're going to draft like this last pick profit, do you really want him buying Midas first item? Is this what you want? Like, this was the part of the game you were planning on getting to, right? But you still can't win fights.
I mean, as you say, so far 33's just had no impact at all in this game. In the middle lane, Tekcac will jump in, kill off the call. He'll be able to find PPD as well. Gets the bash on the Fada. Fada stuck in the macro pyre. He'll Yules up, as you say. His damage has been stolen, but it doesn't matter. He's got all the swipes stacked up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's
GG. It's it. It's over this game. As Gambit showing that Game 2 was not a clear indicator of the skill level of this team, as they hit back so damn hard in Game 3 that NIP is going to need to take some time to bring themselves into Game 4. This match was an absolute one-sided affair. Perfect draft and perfect play from Gambit.